So, hello everybody, good afternoon. My name is Anne Veinola, and I'm doing communications at Design Forum Finland. And I have been participating in editing these texts, so that was why I was chosen to lead the discussion today. We've already heard one thing which was omitted, I think, was how the Finnish pilot companies and agencies were chosen. We had an open call last September, and then after that, first the client companies were chosen, and the idea was to get as versatile and varying selection of companies as possible, and then the design agencies who had applied were chosen so that their expertise fit the best the companies. That's how in Finland this was done. So we wanted to have the best design agency for each company. And that's something we know here at Design Forum Finland. Well, first, we have heard now the companies have told what they are and why did they participate in EcoDesign Sprint. So now I'm starting this round first asking about their expectations. What did they expect to get when they applied for the program? Let's start there, please. Yeah, do you have the microphones?
So basically, as we said, we participated as to get some insight from an actual consulting company to see how you work and what kind of knowledge do you have, and also how to build the actual workflow of implementing these principles into when developing new products or services. So that was our reason.
Okay, Tuomas, pink porridge.
Yes, a bit like ice cream. As you noticed, that our product is really beautifully fits in the circular economy, but basically everything else what we did didn't. So we needed help with the production. We needed help how to communicate our product and all that. Well, in that sense, we needed quite a lot of help from the designers.
Yeah, it was the design side of the sprint which was important for you.
Yes.
And then Maria.
I think we also wanted to have help because we have a challenging product, and I think the design would help us to create so attractive a product that it will be for customers so attractive that they would like to buy it.
And Heidi from the design agency side, the same project.
Yes. Yeah. Well, as I said, we seek to develop new value concepts, and we think that circular design and economy, there is so much new value potential that we need to take into consideration. And as we've been doing also different kind of sprints, then this sprint was new. It was new and interesting to have this new layer there that we look at from the circular design or circular economy perspective, and then together with Järkisärki also to have the real business case there as well. So yeah, it was interesting.
Julius, the client company of Arctic Factory was Our Collection, which is a fashion clothing company making basic clothing for everyday wear, like parkas and trousers and shirts and t-shirts, turtlenecks, clothes like that. And it's a very old brand in Finland and well known. And Julius tells why he was participating.
Well, when we started Arctic Factory, the responsibility and sustainability was very important value for us. And we were very interested about circular economy. We thought that we knew a lot of it, but then we realized that we learned also a lot. But of course, the one big reason is that we wanted to have new business.
Of course, yeah. Hey, one moment. Do you have any idea why, or probably you have some idea why Our Collection was participating? What did they want?
Well, like I said, they have very interesting situation now because of the new generation in the lead of the company, and I think that they have good drive now that they want to develop. They have really interest to clarify the vision and do and try new things.
And they are thinking of the future customer needs.
Yes, and they are very, very, very interesting about the sustainability and responsibility.
Well, Janos.
We hadn't any clue when we started with this circle program that what's going to happen. But we took as opportunity to learn new things, especially when the whole world moving towards these targets. And second one, biggest one, of course, to find new opportunities for the growth. And that was two main. Yeah,
and Anne, you were now facilitating and mentoring the participants. What were your expectations? What did you think of it as a process?
I suppose I should probably say in a Buddhist way that I didn't have any expectations, but of course I did. But I have to say that my expectations were kind of exceeded. I was genuinely surprised by the kind of everybody's open-mindedness and willingness to explore new paths. And I know that it's not easy to, if we start talking about transforming your business model, that's a huge thing. And we've been talking about rapid experiments and piloting, in a small scale rather than, changing everything overnight. No one can do that. Nobody wants to do that, and it doesn't make any sense. But sort of that's willingness to explore also in the long term.
Yeah. So the guys were very responsive to these ideas.
Absolutely.
Great. Well then, let's talk a bit about how it felt to participate in the sprint. Let's start with the design agencies. So first, Heidi, what were your feelings? Now, I mean, was it as a design company, as a designer, was it inspiring? Was it challenging? Was it easy, difficult, happy, funny, crazy?
Well,
depending, of course, on your methodology, what we are doing.
Well, inspiring is a good word. It's like, and also that since Anne was facilitating the first day, then we were able also to participate ourselves in different ways. Since often we are facilitating ourselves, so then it was interesting to learn the way that Ethika was leading the first workshop and then the workshop day, and then also the tools that we used. There were many new to us, so we learned also a lot. So it was good.
Let's take Julius there in the. Was it? We say that it's intensive. I guess it was.
Yeah, it really was. The first 2 days was like a really, really intensive. That there were so big and challenge questions that we need to have answers, and I'm pretty sure that we all were pretty tired after both the days, but it didn't stop. That then we had 2 weeks to do the 2 concepts
designs,
and do the prototypes. So it was very intensive, but I think that was one of the best parts of the whole process. Because we needed to do, not think too much, but do it, and it was very, very, very teachable and good method, and also it was proof for us that hey, we really can do 2 damn good concepts in 2 weeks. Yeah. So but I will say that it was fun. We had really, really good time together with the company in those days.
Mihkel, Emil, you come probably from a different kind of a designer culture I don't know, probably.
Well, yeah.
But what were your feelings?
Well, I think the word intense is describing it well, but also it was a really good learning experience in the sense that the first day we were also kind of learning from Anne, like things we kind of know, but Anne is really thorough, and it was good to get her really practical views, and another day actually kind of trying to handle all this first steps of design. That's always a mess, and trying to make it understandable for people who aren't designers, and it was really good to see that people who didn't know that much about design really felt engaged and came with us and tolerated the mess of the design process that's usually there in the beginning, and they were enthusiastic, not like okay, I don't get it. So that was really good.
Tuomas, had Lumir used design or designers earlier?
No.
So you were very courageous because you met with real designers who are so frightening with their dark clothes and the black clothes and everything. So what were your impressions of the process? Meeting, working both with the two rather new things, like, well, you have been doing circular design or circular ideas, you had those, but then design as itself, how it felt?
Well, actually, in my previous life, at VTT, I was in one project where they put designers and researchers in the same room for
So
3 years.
You have already been
So,
accustomed to their habits.
Yeah, I was familiar with the concept, and that's why we applied to this project, because I noticed that we need help.
Yeah, that's a good start, because so many don't understand that they probably need some help. Well, Maria.
No, we have used a designer before. We already had a brand, and we know that we are a small company, and especially food products. It's so huge competition in the shop that it's the only sales point in the shop that good package is very important with the food business.
And Jaanus, what were your impressions of working in a design project? Was it inspiring or difficult or challenging or never again? Or
This challenging and intense has been several times mentioned here, and I hope that next participants don't afraid this so much. But this part is true. It was 2 days, very intense, but from my personal point of view, it was very good. You can switch off for your daily basis issues and just focus on one thing. Regarding the designer experience, I work daily basis every day as designer for our customers, but we don't use these kind of methods, and we never has designed something to our company in that way. And it was for me especially, who I don't have any designer background. I have partly engineer actually. It was just interesting to see how the designers works, or how this process should be lead.
yeah, creative processes can be disturbing and very enlightening and inspiring at the same time. What was the best, Anne, in the process? What was the best moment or thing?
Just one. Yeah. I really loved working with all these people and all the other sprint participants.
Okay.
Simply.
Jaanus, what was the best?
That we did it.
Let's close that. Julius.
Best thing was that we realized a new business for us. That we realized that the design is one of the very, very, very good tool to develop a new eco-circle concepts and using as a method. So we learn a lot.
Heidi.
I totally agree with Julius in that. And then what I really enjoyed in our sprint working was that when we were developing or discussing about the story and the value proposition, and then we had three different options or directions where we could start going, and then day 2, I think it was when we had really long discussion about the direction, that which of these directions is the one that is the main claim that you have, and how the story will be built around it, and what are the what things will be related to that. I think that the making and crafting story was really interesting. It kind of combined all the elements of the sprint work, and then the rest was just making it real.
And Maria.
That's also my feelings, that it's because we have a really small family business, and it was great challenge to talk with other people and discuss which direction we should go, and what are the most important things. So that was very valuable for us.
Tuomas.
I think the best is yet to come, because we are still working with Muotohjelma quite closely. But so far, I think the best has been our product launch, because if you have a product called Lumirock, you have to organize Lumirock.
And yes.
Yeah, for us, I think the best part was that at the end of the second day, we still had a happy customer, and they got something out of it, and also we have now working a good workflow that we can use for the next clients.
Yeah, of course, the happy wish is that the design agency and the company would get a joint project which they would be able to continue in the future, so that it's not just ideating this once, but also creating new business opportunities for both the company and the design agency. That is the general idea of the project. In addition to, of course, learning about circular economy. Well then, let's talk a bit about the results. Some of you already told us what did you get, but let's retake that so that everybody here now remembers and understands what were the idea is that the company gets 2 concepts or business proposals. The first one is something which can be done in the very near future, and another one is sort of a roadmap to the future, or a long-term thing which could be then further developed. What did you get, Tuomas?
We are still working on our production equipment. We are making it more sustainable, more safe. And of course we got the Lumirock.
Yeah, okay. Maria.
No, we made the brand concept together with Pentagon, and when we continued after that, we renewed our website. That was so we continued after EcoSprint.
Do you yet have anything concrete? I mean, has it shown on sales numbers or something like that?
Our sales has been growing up, so I think it's one part of that, and I think it's slowly coming more well known, our product, and also the idea to eat särki.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And Janos, you told about a box for ordinary customers. Was there something? And you had this futuristic idea. What else?
Consumer box was just a trigger to reach to finally get this circular economic program, but we had 3 options. One was box what we can easily disassemble, and materials and all these materials are reusable. Second one was tracking the boxes. And third one was futuristic, that robots will build the packaging on the customer sites, and we don't need any more factory. The second one actually is the most realistic. because of support from our group, we have today platform. It's not related directly with the outcome from our sprint, but at least we have this, and it really works, and we sell this to the customers. And the main outcome for us is actually the push to go towards these challenges, to think this way. And actually we had like side outcome of this is real project with our customer to find how they can more easily to use their existing packaging and cut down today's need of this packaging as well.
That's nice to hear, because one of the ideas of the sprint is not just to change something operational, but change the mindset, which I think has been happening here, so that you have been starting to think in a new way. So what concrete have you in your companies, have you found out that now you are thinking differently when you are thinking, hopefully, circularly? What say Umir, Tuomas?
Yeah, I think we are looking at the circular economy in a bit broader sense than before, not just in the products, but also in the production and all the delivering the products. So I think it was really helpful.
And what's about when the stuff is blown onto the surfaces? What then when the building is reassembled or something needs to be reconstructed? Is that a problem then?
Of course not. It can be repaired. It can be recycled basically with any building material. It can be recycled as in a paper recycling process, or it can be used as a land improvement in the worst case. So
you have been thinking about the life cycle,
yes,
as a whole, and not just when it's out of your hands, it's not your problem anymore. That's great.
Yes.
Maria, have you changed your mindset, where your product actually started in this idea, so to environmental issues? So probably the change wasn't that big, was it?
No, maybe not, because we have started that business because of it's so good for environment. So that was one reason why we start the whole business. So I don't know if that was for us so big.
It was more like accelerating the business, or
I think so. Yeah.
Julius, what would you say about our collection? Can you say something about the results? What they got? You told about the transparency and recycling, or what
well, I'm not going to tell the details for you, but there was a good, one very concrete concept about that how we can continue the journey with our collection products, and that how we can support the sustainable way to get new product, and also give a new life for the old one. And one very big part of this concept was the story, and that we want to personalize the story of the product and the users who has been used the products. So it was more than just a service. It was also part of the brand strategy of the company. And then the transparency strategy, it really was more like a strategy, that how they can take the transparency part of the everyday business and take all the strengths out of it, because they really have this will to be transparent.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear that so different ideas and concepts were grown out from these. We have only 4 companies and 4 design agencies here presented, and we have 2 in Sweden, not here at the moment. So it's nice to hear that even in this small group there are so many new ways of understanding and developing the business, and both in design agencies and in the client companies. And what were your general feelings about the process as a whole? I mean, developing the sprint and then piloting it here.
I think it is simply fantastic. We've got 12 companies who are much more knowledgeable about the opportunities that the circular economy thinking and the approach can bring to them. And that's how you start making a change. So I think that's marvelous.
Great. Now let's have one final round of questions. What could investing in circular design bring to your company? Let's start there. In the future, I mean, would it be both design agencies and companies? This is an opportunity, we hope. So, Mikkel, Emil, what would you think? What would it be worth investing in this kind of design work, which takes into consideration the circular economy and circular design?
Well, for sure. I mean, otherwise we would have put the time into like participating in. But also, yeah, it is really good to see that actually using those new kind of approaches can bring new kind of revenues also to the companies. So this is something that we can tell to our customers that we have this kind of knowledge that maybe approaching from a bit different angle will bring you some kind of revenues that you can't even see at the moment. So for us, investing in this kind of knowledge will probably or hopefully bring us new clients with who would be happy with what they get from us, rather than just products.
Yeah, of course. Tuomas.
Well, I think the question is silly because you shouldn't say that investing in circular economy, you should keep it as a standard.
Right.
Yeah. But and I really think that it's like if you have a green product, it shouldn't have a sticker that this is green product. The other products should have that this is not green, like warning labels nowadays. But I think like taking the circular economy into account when you're in your product development and in your production everywhere, it's investment in the future because all the legislation and requirements are getting harder and harder all the time for the companies.
Yeah, that's true, but one has to remember that it's not just that some product or service is eco-friendly or circular or green. It doesn't mean that if it's not good and functional and probably even beautiful, nobody would buy it just because it's green. So that's why it's important to understand.
Yeah, definitely. The green products, they have to be better than the previous products. They have to be cheaper. They have to look nicer. It really doesn't matter to the customer in the end that if it's really green or not.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully it will. Maria.
We hope that we can continue our work and maybe create new products and maybe our fish like lahna, what we have been starting to use, and also we have had some contacts from maybe we could start to sell also or to export our products. So that I think these will our future plans.
Heidi.
Well, we think that there is a huge potential in combining the seeking like the business growth and then combining it with this circular idea and how to meet the user needs. And actually get the insight, like what people want in future, that they will be based on these kind of models, and it's really crucial to understand like how that value can be created and what kind of service models there can be. So we want to be like part of and join the development of these models.
For me, design is a tool to make functional, sustainable, and beautiful objects. And I think that the design and circular economy is a perfect match together. And we have a challenge every day when we are trying to sell the design services, because we need to tell that story about the companies that, hey, the return of this investment will be high. There will be return when you invest this. And but I think that together this circle way of thinking and design thinking is very like a perfect match.
Sounds great. And Jan?
I think our business model will change drastically, totally. Maybe not in 100%, but most of this. And through our changes, we can influence our customers and their customers as well, because we do mainly dealing business to business companies.
And Anne, actually I don't have to ask you this because I already know the answer. Is there something you would like to say?
I really like the question that Erika showed you. What's the business case for ending life on Earth? Yeah. And I think the question really is that, do you want to be future fit? If you do, you invest in this.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, is there some questions if you want to ask about from the companies or design agencies? Now is the time before we all disperse. If not, I'm thanking you for my sake and reminding you that the EcoDesign Sprint booklet, which is an introduction to the process and tells more, and it's a good notebook because you've seen most of the pages already on the on presentations, so please take it with you and hopefully it interests you. And as I said, thank you for my sake and thank you companies and design agencies.